Do you think Tesla is in the market to acquire another automakers? I don't know. Despite merger scenarios, Elon Musk Tesla is unlikely to buy another car maker. But on the other hand, Tesla has never been afraid of taking big risks and going an extra mile. Welcome back, dear friends. This is Armen Harayan from TorqueNews.com. If you are here for the first time, please subscribe to our channel for daily Tesla news and ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next Tesla story. Charles Morris has a very interesting analysis in the Evannex.com asking the question saying, is Tesla in the market to acquire another automaker? Let's see what Charles says and let's see his conclusion, and let's discuss it in the comment section, please. So Charles says, the irony is, in Tesla's early days, many assumed the company would eventually be acquired by a large automaker. After all, this was and is the tried and true trajectory for a Silicon Valley startup, right? This wasn't just a journalist's fantasy. The co-founders themselves considered it a possibility. Mark Tarpenning told Charles Morris in 2013, "We believed quite naively that once the Roadster was out and people saw that you could make a compelling electric vehicle, all the car companies would jump on this idea. So even if the standalone company becomes questionable, it's okay because there'll be 10 car companies around the planet that will want us." At the same time, nobody imagined that the legacy automakers would show so little interest in electrification, or that by 2020 Tesla would have left them in the dust. Now, Tesla is the world's largest automaker by market cap, though very far from the largest in terms of sales, and could theoretically acquire just about any of the world's legacy car makers because how much cash Tesla has. In fact, financially speaking, Tesla could gobble up 2 or 3 of the smaller brands with a minimum dilution of shareholder value. Charles Morris also says Elon Musk recently started up the rumor mill when he said in answer to an interviewer question, I think this was during the Axel Springer interview, right? "We are definitely not going to launch a hostile takeover. But if somebody said it would be a good idea to merge with Tesla, we would have this conversation." This is just a conversation, nothing much, and we don't know where things will go. But that's already a big rumor mill that has started, and Torque News, based on the media reports, has had several reports on who would be a good candidate. We focused on Daimler because of several reasons, and we have excluded some other companies that will not be good match with Tesla. But the conversation is going on in the media sphere. Now, Charles Morris continues saying, on the face of it, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Idea of Tesla merging with another company. Most automakers have been battered by this virus, and Tesla might be able to pick up a lot of hard assets at a bargain price. It's an interesting fantasy and a thought-provoking object lesson in how quickly technology can change the business landscape. But for those of us who follow Tesla closely, there are several obvious reasons why it's unlikely to happen, as I said in the beginning. So let's see what are those reasons that are unlikely to cause Tesla to merge with another company or to cause Tesla to acquire another company. But there is a but, or however, at the end. So keep listening, please. Charles Morris says the legacy automakers only have a couple of things that Tesla would want. What are those? Tesla could acquire some existing factories, perhaps in strategic parts of the world, and retool them to build its electric vehicles and other products, Tesla products. However, this just isn't the way Tesla is doing business these days, right? The company has been down the refurbishment road before with its Fremont factory and with Gigafactory 2 in Buffalo, a former steel mill, and has plainly come to the conclusion that it makes more sense to build new factories from scratch to its specifications, and Tesla has been doing that at fast speed at Giga Berlin and Giga Shanghai. In fact, Giga Shanghai has already started the third phase. Tesla decided early in the game that converting a gas vehicle to an electric vehicle, as it did with the Roadster and as some legacy automakers are still doing, makes no sense. To realize the full potential of an electric vehicle, you have to start from the proverbial blank sheet of paper. The same applies to Tesla's factories, and that's why, beginning with a Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai, it has chosen to build new facilities on greenfield sites. There were surely disused factories in China, Germany, and elsewhere that it could have picked up and at a cheap cost. But Tesla has chosen to go with building its own gigafactories. And in fact, Tesla did that in China. Tesla is doing that in Giga Berlin, and Tesla is doing that in Texas right now, and all with astonishing speed. So Tesla is not going to hopefully buy or unlikely to go and buy another company just to use their factories, because Tesla has changed its strategy in this regard. An integral part of Tesla's business model is aggressively squeezing out costs by incrementally improving its manufacturing processes, and to do that it has to be able to design its own factories for optimal efficiency, concludes Charles Morris, and also adding that each new gigafactory is more efficiently designed, more closely attuned to Tesla's evolving needs than the last, and some say that gigafactories may prove to be the company's most important assets, most important innovations anyway. Refurbishing existing automotive plants just isn't the Tesla way. This is not how Tesla is doing business or has been doing business in the past couple of years. Another so-called asset that a legacy automaker could bring to the table is a pool of loyal customers. Let's see if that would benefit Tesla. Charles Morris says many car buyers are loyal to particular brands, usually for purely emotional reasons. A Tesla-powered Peugeot or Fiat might capture a certain number of buyers who wouldn't look at a car with the red T logo. This vestige of the auto industry's past has led automakers to keep historic brands alive by creating duplicate branding for the same automobiles. Examples include Opel Ampera E, the European version of the Chevy Bolt, the Buick Velite, a version of the Chevy Volt rebadged to make it more attractive to Chinese buyers who have a historic affinity for Buick, and the Citroën C0 and Peugeot I own, both rebadged versions of the Mitsubishi i-MiEV. However, Tesla isn't likely to consider this brand-based goodwill much of an asset. On the contrary, Charles Morris from Evannex says it's exactly the kind of wasteful and unproductive auto industry tradition that Tesla is dedicated to sweeping away. Other structures that legacy automakers consider assets, their dealer network, marketing operations, etc., are probably better described as baggage, and it's difficult to imagine that Tesla would want anything to do with them. And let's not even get into the touchy subject of automakers' union contracts. For these reasons and others, any merger in which Tesla would take over another automaker's assets and fold them into its own operations just seems incompatible with the California carmakers' business models, concludes Charles Morris in Evannex.com. And he adds, however, what if Tesla decides to play the corporate spoiler, accelerating the electric vehicle revolution by destroying ICE gas automakers from within? It asks Morris. It could buy one or more of the automakers that have been mostly resistant to electrification, like Fiat, Chrysler, and Honda come to mind, he says, and shut them down. Some would imagine this as poetic justice. After all, we all know that oil companies and their shadowy allies regularly buy up green tech startups and bury their gas-saving innovation, just as pharmaceutical companies suppress life-saving cancer treatments. Elvis, Obama, and aliens are also involved somehow, concludes Evannex's Charles Morris in the story. I'm not aware of that. Now, leaving aside the questions of whether this would actually work, shattering factories, putting dealerships out of business, and taking away car buyers' beloved brands would not be any way to win friends and influence drivers to go electric. In fact, I wouldn't favor this because, hundreds of thousands of people work in these factories. You can't cut their livelihood, right? Elon Musk is no Daenerys Targaryen, we hope, he says, and I don't think he has any plans to decimate Detroit with flamethrowers, Charles Morris says. The march of technology and the free market will accomplish the task of creative destruction in due time. The only merger scenarios Charles Morris sees that makes any sense would be one of the which Tesla buys a controlling stake in an electric vehicle reluctant automaker, then gently steers it onto the right path. With Tesla calling the shots, an automaker's existing EV programs could be strengthened, perhaps with the addition of some Tesla Tech ICE models phased out and workers retained for 21st century careers. This would be a good thing to do. Even this seems unlikely, he says. It would involve wading into a mire of the legacy auto industry and dealing with a corporate culture that's the opposite of Tesla's own. That's a lot of huge work and headache. And how likely is it that a legacy automaker, gas maker, forcibly converts to an EV-only brand and would be profitable? I don't know. Charles Morris concludes that in any case, Elon and his companies have plenty on their plates right now. If Tesla can bring all or even most of its already announced projects into fruition, it would bring about the desired revolution. However, Charles Morris concludes, I could be wrong. Elon Musk and his crew have never been frightened of a full or even overflowing plate. I personally think if Tesla brings the Cybertruck and the Tesla semi-truck to production and to the market in 2021, it will already have accomplished a lot. What do you think, friends? Let me know. This is Armen Harayan from TorqueNews.com. Please subscribe to our channel for daily Tesla news and ring the bell so you don't miss my next Tesla story. Have a wonderful rest of the day. God bless you, everyone.